Welcome back to Breaking the Mold. Kevin James Devine right here with us in the hot seat. We were just talking a little bit about music and the future album you plan on coming out, and also the styles that you're recording in and what you have going on. Can you tell us when you're sitting in the studio getting ready to record, what's running through your mind?
It's never like all right, here we go, we have to make a hit. It's always just like what else can we put on here? You know what I mean? It's like the style I've been recording in is Phil Spector. He used to do things like he'd do it like 20 like guitars and then compress them, and then you have like a big. It was called the wall of sound, and we've been using that a lot. We're definitely in the second album going to be using it way more. But the first album I recorded in my friend's basement, and I have about 6 songs I recorded when I first started, about around the time when I first started like playing guitar. I've only been playing guitar for 2 years, and so when I first started, I recorded a couple songs with this guy in his basement, and very, very lo-fi, very poor quality. And then I realized I want to kind of release an album, so I put them on there. I put them sort of in the beginning, and then I recorded newer songs in my friend's basement, and he doesn't have the greatest equipment, but somehow he managed to get a lot of them to sound about like studio quality. We recorded this one song. It's the single on the album called Long Way to Go, and we spent about 9 hours. And we just did everything, bass, just us two. Did everything on our own, and there's just so much pressed into the song that it's just kind of this big sound that comes out of it, and I really enjoy taking the time to work on a song and really getting it to because the day I recorded, I guess like I had a due date since I'm with Tofo Records now, and I had to have the album into them by a certain time, and I got the album done on December 11th. The album came out on December 18th, and I was up for 24 hours straight recording the entire album, and then I went home, put on a uniform, and went to the supermarket that I work at and slept in the parking lot. So I mean, it was just a endless amount of just work poured into that album. Even if sometimes it's not the best quality. I have a couple songs that I know sound great, and I mean that by the quality. I don't mean I sound great, cause just but I mean
not to be confused.
Yeah, and there's also we're going to be going in for the second album soon. It's going to be called Mad Summers and Wild Hearts. It's going to be very, very big summer album, definitely. A lot of that theme is going to be going into it. A lot of the sounds of the 50s and 60s are going to be placed into it, just because that's a time period that I really, really enjoy, late 50s, early 60s. And it's going to be a lot of classic rock type stuff into it. And it's definitely going to be more mainstream than my last release. We're going to be recording at Mad Dragon Records studio in Philadelphia. And I have a band behind me. They'll be on there. We're called Kevin James Devine and the 33 Missions Band.
All right.
I'll explain the name, but there's Brad Smith, Matt Leese, Dan Toll, and Carter Fox, and myself. And the 33 Missions comes from my grandfather was a gunner in a plane during World War II, and he flew 33 missions. So,
wow, very neat.
Yeah,
you seem to have a really big understanding of history and of the wars, especially.
It was my favorite subject when I was a kid. I mean, I was a big nerd when I was little, so I would just read nonstop about history. Like I was like 7, 8 years old, going to the library and getting history books, not like, I Think I Can, or what was that book about the train, you know what I mean?
The Little Engine That Could.
The Little Engine That Could, like I was reading about.
I got that book.
Okay, yeah, you just read that one, didn't you? No, anything from like, I would read about like Ben Franklin and just like stuff that like kids shouldn't be reading about, but stuff that kids don't usually read about, I guess. But, definitely a history buff. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but
you're incorporating it into your music. So.
I guess it's kind of soaking into the music somehow. Just kind of comes out, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Would you like to play us a couple songs, show us the history that you understand?
Definitely. Yeah,
awesome. When we come back, Kevin James Devine and Matt Parsons are going to sit down in the studio with us here and play a couple songs. Don't touch that dial. You're watching Breaking the Mold on TVM.